should give it up like I just ain't good enough. I wasn't tough enough to make it through the storm, so I strive to feed my fire, doing what I desire. I'll never give it up, I'm nothing like before.
And that's where
Right,
you got
so
that's where the vouchers come
this is
back.
where the politics go deep, is that what I'm hearing is this, that people who have influence may be looking to push a voucher because for many years they have had to watch public kids school go to school free, but now they're like, look, I want some of that tax public school. I want some of that tax money coming from the federal government to help me educate my kids.
No. Not the money coming from the federal government. That's not the money they want. That's what everybody think. That's not the money they want. You're going to get the federal government money as long as you follow the federal government rules.
Private schools do.
Anybody. You're going to get that federal government money if you follow the federal government rules. Federal government, you can get the federal government money. That's not what they trying to do here in Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, they want them state money.
Okay.
Because the law says this. In the state of Oklahoma, this is what the law says. And just think about it. Who wrote that? We're going to think about this in a minute. They basically fighting themselves. The Constitution of Oklahoma says this. Only public schools can receive state dollars.
Okay.
Now,
that makes sense.
If that's what it say in the Constitution, that means you will never get public school dollars going to private, charter, or any other school until you do what? Change the law. That's what they trying to do. See, they're having a real tough time of changing that law. They want them state dollars. We want the state dollars. We want that money. Because Cedric told us it's taxes. You can't get the taxes because the Constitution says it's against the law.
Can't get the state tax.
You can't get the state taxes.
All right.
Only public schools. It's in the Constitution.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, none of us made that Constitution. Why'd y'all make it then like that? Evidently, you made it like that because there were schools that was trying to be charter, public, way back in the Little House in the Prairie days, and y'all didn't want to give them no money. And so you made the law, only public school dollars. Now you trying to change it because it don't benefit you no more.
Yeah, because during segregation,
bingo,
most of those schools were the African American communities
were considered charter schools.
Yeah, they housed they funded their own schools. Yes. Like communities funded their schools.
And think about it. Of course, with Cedric,
and they didn't get no.
You're not gonna hurt Cedric if you do that. He would love it. That way he can send his kids for free to private schools. You're not gonna. You think you hurting us, but you're not. You helping us. The problem that I have is when you realize that you're helping us, don't try to go change it. Don't do that. That's when you're going to make me mad.
Now, you said something earlier, though, about the African American community will thrive.
We will thrive. Because that means we're going to get them dollars.
So what we have to do as a community is figure out how
we'll thrive if we have a plan. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
How we have to work.
I ain't saying we just going to.
Yeah. How we have to work.
You're correct.
Towards a plan that's going to benefit our community.
If we don't work against each other, we'll thrive.
So we know of a
because think about it.
That means that we know that has a private school.
Yes. And
so now, and some parents feel like, oh, I don't quite have the money. Probably one of the most affordable private schools in Oklahoma. And so now she will be able to. Parents would now be able to afford to send their student.
Did she get
to their
shut down?
school. No.
Recently? Okay.
No.
Because I know a young lady who started a school.
And most of the time they get shut down
And
because they don't have the money.
Yeah, and she kind of got shut down. Her kids had to move like in the middle, like it was Christmas break. When they came back from Christmas break, they had to go to another school.
Go to a different school.
And I mean, and parents had
they
that
had
much time
time
to make it happen.
Yeah.
And like you said, with and that's the type of school where African American community like, trust, and see their kids progress.
Now, do you see
because
why
they
I
have
say
a whole program
that's why I said
catered to them.
they'll thrive.
Yeah.
Now, see why I say that?
And
I'm saying that because all of the schools.
What I'm scared of is
Go ahead.
that we get into that water is wetter, ice is colder, sun is sunnier mentality.
Explain that.
It's an old saying where we say, well, like with segregation, everybody moved from when we desegregated.
Yeah.
The white people water was wetter and the white people ice was colder, and they sun shined a little bit brighter. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what messed us up because we are programmed to feel like Edmond is better than the East Side. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
or
but
Spencer, right?
but
We're
hold on.
programmed to think.
But at the time, it was.
At what time?
At the time when I was in school, Edmond was better than the East Side. To me,
they had the newer things.
The East Side didn't have anything. So in my opinion,
now you think back.
It depends on where your values is.
It depends on what you like.
What you like, exactly.
Depends on what you like,
That's
not your
value.
values. It don't depend on your values.
Because it's something.
Because I can have great values, love my black people,
Not that type
love
of
my
values.
people. Yeah, but
It depends on what you value. Let me explain.
Resources.
No, not even resources.
You don't think it's resources?
that's why
What you
gotta
value,
explain
like
that.
this is what I'm saying. Okay, somebody will look at a say Edmond School. We'll just use an analogy. Edmond School has a Ford, a brand new 2000 Ford Escalade. You know what I'm saying? School. 2004.
Okay, so
2023.
let's be realistic.
But
okay?
we got an old school.
Listen, no,
but the
let's
person
be
who's
realistic.
driving
Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Okay, Edmond has a real working science lab with everything that you need in it. Okay. A school on the east side does not have a real working science lab.
Okay.
Which one you want to be
Which
at?
one do you want to be at? Edmond Schools has a freshman academy where freshmen can go in and learn and adapt to the rigors and the things that they're going to have to experience in high school.
Right.
Over here, the kids are just thrown into
Yeah.
the school and you got to figure it out.
I understand what you. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I'm not. I guess I'm not arguing with you guys. I'm coming from a different perspective.
Okay.
I'm saying that's not better. I'm saying that's not better to me the way what my values is.
Mm-hmm.
Your
You see what I'm
values
saying?
now.
Well, let me finish.
Go ahead.
What my value is, because I got kids now.
Right.
And that's why I say it's a program.
Your mind is different.
It's I got a different mindset now. Like, just because it's shiny, they got all the tools, whatever. Look,
Yes.
I went to Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
All I was saying is that
I went to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. To play football in Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Right.
Our hazard gym, our gym
was
and our
terrible.
locker room had mosquitoes.
It was
You
terrible.
couldn't even use the
That's
bathroom and But what I valued about that was the people, the personal relation. The people there loved me and accepted me.
Right.
I can go to Edmond and they'll look at me, spit on me.
some of them will,
whatever.
but some of them
I
won't.
won't feel
Accepted.
comfortable
and inclusion.
And that's going to hurt my learning. I'm not going to feel diverse. I'm not going to feel equity, and I'm not going to feel included.
And what I'm
that's
saying,
going to hurt my education and my mindset. And
Right.
guess what? When I acquiesce and I change my whole culture to fit in, and then I try to come back to my people, what does that leave?
here's what I'm saying though.
I feel that's a damaged person.
Here's what I'm saying. That's you now. That wasn't you then.
It don't matter.
Yeah, it does. It does matter. Because your way of thinking back then.
Yes, because I was
Let me finish.
colonialized.
Let
I
me
was
finish.
westernized.
Let me
Go ahead.
finish.
Okay.
Your way of thinking back then is just like the people used to think back then too. So once you grow, yes, you're going to learn something different. Like me. Like me now. My way of life of believing is that I could never live in a big city. It doesn't matter if it's black, white. I don't want to live in a big city. I love being able to go from one place to another in 7 minutes. But that's my way of life now. There's no way I would come live in any big city. Not here, not Tulsa. I don't care what big city. I won't stay in it. Because my way of life now is I like going from point A to point B in 7 minutes. That's it. I can't do that here. Am I still right? You can't do that here.
I understand what both of you are.
I can't go
not
from
7 minutes, but about 10 to 12. So,
See what I'm saying?
So 5 more minutes, you can live where I stay right here.
But I wouldn't want to.
Look here, I can get boom.
No.
boom. I love this.
See,
But go ahead.
like
I
me,
really understand the concept. Go
Me,
ahead. Yeah.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see the certain things I see when I come to the city. Now that's just my way of thinking. It don't even matter if it was Edmond. Like now, I wouldn't stay in Edmond for nothing. Let me
You're talking
finish.
about a preference.
No, I'm talking about.
Not a mind.
Let me finish.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
I'm talking about your mind is going to change. That's all.
Is this a paradigm?
It is different now because you think different now. Doesn't mean it wasn't correct then. Edmond was far better city than the East Side back then.
Yeah.
To me, it was. I went to Edmond to do everything. I was able to go get my Kohan shoes from Edmond. I was able to go to the store. I went to, when I wanted to go to 7-Eleven, I had to go outside of the East Side. I couldn't do that in the East Side. The only grocery store I could go to in the East Side were the bum grocery stores. I wasn't comfortable doing that over in the East Side. Now, until the East Side brought Tinseltown, we couldn't even go to a movie theater on the East Side.
I changed my. You're right.
So
Yeah,
the
you're
East Side was not a better
You just saying
situation.
It was.
It wasn't better.
I
It
just
wasn't.
don't like the
It
word
wasn't more
better.
comfortable.
Like
You just have more.
It wasn't
They had
comfortable.
more- They
Different
definitely
resources.
they had the
Yeah.
resources. Yeah.
Everything we did was away from the East Side.
East Side still.
Even when we went to the club, it was away from the East Side.
But you got to think. But if people from Edmond wanted to go to the zoo, where did they have to?
They had to come to the East Side. And most people in Seminole think the East Side is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Why? Because the East Side has the zoo, the Omniplex, the racetrack. But they don't have any idea when you go down 23rd Martin Luther King.
Which that's changing.
That's different. And as soon as you, now once they change all that, then yes, people will look at things differently. All I'm saying is, at the time, some places was better than other places. That's just the way it was.
Okay.
And that's the life that I'm saying.
Yeah, living wise, I guess we could put a
That's
value on living wise and say resources. Educationally, though, academically, I look at, I guess for me, like I said, like I value culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so culture, so that's the part of DEI. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can value, what they value.
And it depends on
you know what I'm saying?
the type of culture. Because not every culture I would have enjoyed. I enjoyed Millwood culture, but I don't think I would have enjoyed Douglas culture.
Right. Well, I don't know. I won't speak on Douglas. Maybe you
I'm just
knew-
saying,
maybe
I
you knew
don't-
people.
I
Because
don't
everybody that went
think
to
I would
Douglas
have.
liked the Douglas. I mean,
Yeah.
they was the same as us.
I'm just
You
saying,
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I
Just
don't think it would have been my thing.
not liked. You probably would have thought that you didn't like Spencer. I thought I would hate Millwood because I came from Spencer.
Right.
That's why we need.
But here's my
African-American people to quit
question
closing
to
our
you.
mind and looking at
Right.
that's this and that's
Here's
that.
my question,
That's
though.
Douglas, and say we all really the same
Here-
once we get to know each other.
Here's my question. And I tell this to everybody. I mean, I'm going to ask this. What made you like Millwood when you thought you would never like it?
What made me like Millwood? I think the one thing early in my transition from Spencer to Millwood, the thing that I liked was that it seemed to be African American forward. You see what I'm saying? It was African American focused. That was it. That was like coming from I'm an African American. Like even as a kid, I've been pro-black. Didn't even know it. But I've been pro-black all my all my life. I didn't grow up in a pro-black family. You know what I'm saying? Per se, that like the stereotype that we would say was pro-black. But, my family came from Douglas. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother then went to Douglas High School, which was the only black high school, that we had here in Oklahoma. So they had Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City. So I know that was other, but it was one of the main ones. People in a certain area, all the black people went to that school.
Yeah.
Basically, kind of how it was across America. But saying that to say that even though it wasn't something that was preached and taught, it was something that was just ingrained in me. And so I didn't know any difference in Spencer. Spencer had a lot of black people still, right? A lot of black people.
You know what's funny? I just recently found out that I thought Spencer was a black town.
Yeah, you would think.
And it's not.
Right.
It wasn't.
And so being with that, I came to Millwood, and it wasn't just that we had a lot more black people. It was a level, it was a mindset that these black people are going to college. The conversation was, we're going to college.
Yeah.
That was the conversation. Everybody there was like, I'm going to college.
Yeah, that was the
In
difference.
Spencer, that wasn't the conversation. We're just going to graduate.
We're just trying to
But
get out
I
of
tell
high
you
school.
one thing, at first, look, 10 years, 20 years later,
Yeah.
them guys that just graduated or whatever, a lot of them are self entrepreneurs.
It's not
They
hard to
make
be
it
that.
happen
It's
because
not hard to
that
be
was
that.
the culture out there in Spencer was
Right.
self-preservation. It
Right.
was a little bit more rural.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they made it happen.
Yeah.
From trucks and whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then I went to Millwood. It's more academic. We reaching to do good grades and we get and I ain't never heard somebody talk about I'm going to Morehouse. You know what I'm saying? That's all dude kept talking about. Was it Morehouse?
Yeah.
I'm going to Morehouse. And then the young ladies, I'm going to Clark. Everybody had a college that they was going to.
Yeah.
And okay, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Figure it out.
But
and I think
I admired that.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's all about experience and exposure. And talking about him not going from living in the city to living in the country and not wanting to do that now.
Yeah.
But I was the exact opposite.
Sure
when I was
was.
younger,
When you was
I
younger.
wanted to live in the country.
That's
I didn't
right.
want to live in the city.
Yeah.
And then we talk about I used to love Tulsa.
I hate it.
And he hated Tulsa. But my experiences in Tulsa were great. Yeah, I seen some bad things, but I also had a good time and had great experiences.
Right.
There. So I think that's what it's all about is experience and exposure and being willing to open ourselves up. And yeah, you're gonna be pro-black, you're gonna be pro-black, you're gonna have your biases, but we should all be pro-human.
Right.
And try to love, respect, and understand the differences and be willing to embrace the diversities that every person has, and understand that we are all unique in our own way. And
it's all about many people can say they're pro-black. They don't mean they're pro-black. You know. It's a big thing. Because when you say you pro-black, there's some things you really got to move on with that. I'm pro-black. And some people might look at it and be like, no, you just don't understand. You can't do it the way I do it. See, I'm the black dude that can go sit in the middle of white folks and still be black. That's pro-black. I don't need to be around a whole bunch of black people to be black. I can sit in the middle of a ton of white folks. I just spoke at the Seminole Chamber of Commerce. Asked me how many black people was there. Two. Me and Melissa. And I was the speaker. And my speech started off just like this. Y'all know me. I'm black as all get out, color, and inside. So y'all know I'm going to say some stuff that might sound a little black. That's me. I'm trying to make sure people in general, you can't outcast us. But if we continue to outcast ourselves, then they don't even have to have a problem. They outcasted you because you outcast yourself. And that's why it's important. Remember, let's get honest. When Millwood said they was going to change to uniforms, who went and fought for that? Me.
Fought against it.
Fought against it.
Yeah.
Nobody else. Not another student or teacher. It was Edward Marshall who stood up at the board meeting, and his auntie was the president of the board. And he stood up and he said, this is wrong. And I gave a reason why. I said, because my dad can't afford new stuff. And there's no way for me to wear hand-me-downs because I'm older than my little brother who's bigger than me. I said, so my little brother can't even wear my stuff. And then they just look and then what they say, y'all don't have to worry the first semester. We gonna give y'all time to get y'all to buy them.
Yeah.
And they gave us time.
They gave us time. I had to go to Anthony's and take out my layaway 501 Levi's and switch them all out to Dockers.
My daddy
I was more accepting and willing to do that.
My daddy didn't even stand up to say nothing. And he was like, son, you sure? No, Daddy, I'm not fit to look like a bum because I know that's what you're going to dress me as. And the whole time we just got new clothes, new school clothes. Mm-hmm. So, it's a big difference. Yeah. And yeah, some people fight to, you can, there's like I think we had a Republican, black Republican, who I think people like that is needed on I don't have a problem with you being a Republican, Democrat, whatever you are. I don't care.
That was a great show.
Yeah. My thing is, my belief is the only I'm more of a Martin Luther King type mentality. To help black people, you got to almost help everybody. That was Martin's mentality. We can't change no laws. You know, technically, the law probably still wouldn't have changed as far as us voting if it wouldn't have been a part of white ladies couldn't vote at the time.
Well, I mean, we had the ability to vote as African American men way before.
Way before. But remember, they put them rules on us, them Jim Crow rules.
Yeah, Jim Crow.
You had to be able to read. That was the number one rule. Well, why'd they do that? Because nobody could read.
Right. Yeah. If I could go back.
Go ahead.
Matter of fact, if you don't mind us transitioning.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we transition into the next phase of this, which is letting everybody know that you can find us on our social media at Let's Talk with Drop and Jabbo. And you can also find us at our website at motivationaldrop.com. And we want to thank you guys for listening. We hate that we have to move on to the next episode, but we hope to see you, hear you, and see you through your comments.
Yeah. And
hear you through your comments on this episode and any other episode, and also on the next episode coming up. And to close, I just want to try to sum up a little bit what I feel like what we're hearing. And what stood out most for me is the fact that with the possibility of vouchers, like I said, and tax credits coming, what's important to me is the African American community, because that's the community in which I'm closer to and that I live in. And so I think what's important for us, from what I'm hearing, is that we need to be prepared for what's coming, because it could be something very good for us. It could be something that we've been fighting and screaming for all the time. Why we ain't get our own schools? Why can't we keep our own schools, our own teachers, and our own principals? Why can't we do our own thing? And this is the opportunity for us to mess it up if we don't get it right.
Yes.
We can really mess this up. And we really have to, and another thing we really have to think about before we do send our kids across town, the time, and the money to have a complete kid, not just academics, but their social life and their fitting in is going to be something important to them as well. And the last thing I'll say is talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. What Ed said about being pro-black and being able to be pro-black in different ways.
Yeah.
And I think that is very important to point out and to understand, and to not judge by first sight. You know, if you see an African American man in the middle of a crowd of a different culture, and maybe he's dressed like them, smiling like them, and got that voice we all put on when we may have to code switch, as we call it, that we don't judge that person and immediately without knowing, what their heart is.
Yeah, it might be the spook by the door. They just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know, man.
With that, thanks again. I hope you guys learned something today. If you did, let us know that you learned it, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Peace out.
Thank you, gentlemen, for having me.
Thank you, Cedric. Yeah, I forgot to say
appreciate
thank you to Cedric.
Thank you, bro.
So, peace. That is it for this episode. Hey, we hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. If you did, please do us a favor and hit the like button and share with somebody else. And if you want notifications when our episodes or monthly live podcasts publish, then you got to go to the website. Subscribe. Do that now so that nothing gets missed by accident. Thanks again and for supporting us.
I'm as tough as you made me, but you never break me. No, you never break me. They say I should give it up like that just ain't good